here we go. So the first thing I did was I made a class to show you things with, which I call Techinar Google Classroom. But in case you don't know how to make a class, you just press on this plus and you will press on create a class. But I've already created a class for us. So instead, I'm going to go into this class. Here we go. And I'll mention that you can change the way your class looks by selecting a different theme. Later on, I'll show you how to actually make your own banner and add it to your Google class. All right, so what's the next thing I need to do? I have a class here is to add people to it. What kind of people? First of all, if you have a co-teacher, you could add a co-teacher, but let's talk now about adding students. So here you'll see we have an invite button. I press on it, and you could either type the kids' emails. If you have a school email account, which most of us do, and I just start typing names of kids, all the kids named Tomer will pop up, and I can choose the one that I want to add. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is, again, if I push on invite, I'll see here that there's actually an invitation link. You copy the link and you can send it to your pupils, either by WhatsApp if you have a WhatsApp group, or by email to all of the kids in your class if you have an email account for all of them. But if all of that seems a little bit complicated and difficult for you, there is another way of doing it. Over here is the gear button. You press it and you see all the information about your class. And one of the things you have here is a class code. So you display the class code. That is the class code. If the kid goes into their Google Classroom and they put in this class code, they will be able to join your classroom. You could also, if you're in the room with them, you could tell them to go into their Google Classroom and put in the class code. So I'm going to show you how this works from the kid's point of view. This is my kid pupil account. So I go into Google Classroom and I want to join a class. So what do I do as a pupil? I press join class and I put in the class code. The class code is those numbers and letters that we saw before. So here I'm going to copy and paste in the code and press on join. Takes a second. So now this is me as a pupil that has joined the Techinar Google Classroom. Now we're going back to being a teacher again. So here's the classroom, and as you can see, I have one pupil that has joined my class. So what's the next basic thing that I need to do? Now, if you look up here, there's all sorts of stuff. The first thing is the stream. Now, it's really important to understand that stream can be extremely confusing. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that when we put up assignments, they don't show up on the stream. The stream is more for informal communication, or if you want to give them a link to something, you can put it up there. It's not for doing work. It's really important. So if I press here again, I'll see that I have my stream. So we want to do something important. Get rid of notifications. No notifications. And we can also decide whether we want to let kids post it all on the stream or not. depending, I guess, on how much you trust your pupils. You could either choose that only you as a teacher can post or comment, or that students can comment to the things that you post. Now, this is handy because in this way, when you put something up, not an assignment, some type of notification or a link, the students can comment and they can ask you questions. So let's